the Superstock in qualifying, whereas Jamie Coward, who only has a Superstock and is riding in all the classes, 15 laps for him. Same with Ian Hutchinson, who chose to ride the Superstock all through qualifying, 17 laps for him, 3 for Dean Harrison, 3 for Michael Dunlop, 2 only for Davy Todd completed.
Yeah, looking at them times, jumping back in there. So I think Jamie Coward has done a 32.5 or 6 on the Stocker in the first Superbike race. So that would put him 4th overall, nearly joined 3rd overall with Michael Dunlop on times for the Superstock session. So yeah, I think he's a really good outsider of the top 4 that we've been talking about all week. And obviously James Hillier's right in the mix as well. And who knows, John McGuinness could join the party, or even Josh Brooks.
Absolutely right. Let's head down to Glen Crutchley Road, where the grid is starting to form. Chris, they're starting to come up to you.
They certainly are. We're still down in Park Ferme, actually, because there was the threat that Beth was going to take her other coat on, because she's actually starting to get a reasonably warm. That breeze is just dropping just a little bit from what it is. And apologies if you are somewhere it's getting windy. But just here, just to give you a flavour of the conditions here, it's not as bad as what it was first thing today. Beth, good afternoon in 15 seconds to you.
Okay, I could keep it going for 15 seconds, but I probably won't. Yeah, the sun is a little bit stronger now. I was going to take that coat off, but you know what? I thought, I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm going to leave it on.
Yeah, just been having a quick word with Tim Reeves, by the way, in that sidecar thing. Him and Mark Wilkes said he had a little bit of a moment on that oil as he went through Rencullen. So that's 15 minutes to the start of the next race. So we will make our way up onto the road. Paddy Rosney walks by. He'll be going out a little bit later again on the sidecar. A lot of the sidecars are in here getting furkled with. And as you quite rightly said, a lot of people have done some good laps, and a lot of people have not done many laps as well. Another names to look out for as well, Nathan Harrison.
Chris,
go ahead.
Could you just explain that? Is that a Manx word that we just heard on the radio?
What's that?
Furkled.
Furkled, yeah, it means mucking around with stuff. Furkled. It's a good word, isn't it?
And how would one spell that word?
Firkled. Furkled.
There we go. Free education.
Tell you what, it's like working with Carol Vorderman, working with you, isn't it, eh? It's like countdown.
I'll take that as a compliment.
For the masses. Countdown for the masses. Josh Brooks is up on the road here now, and he's going to straight away go. He's just a little chat there to Milky Quell. One man we need to have a little chat with actually is Mick Sweeney. He's qualified in start position 26th with 125.316 for Miko. Let's see if we can maybe grab him in a little bit. Josh Brooks is there too. Not many riders up here as of yet. Still only 15 minutes to go with the start of the race, but Jamie Coward is. Maybe grab a quick word with Milky. Yeah, so he's just straight away. The question he's just gone straight into ask him, Tom Birchall, is about the oil at Rencullen.
Yeah, we've seen the pictures there. There's a lot of oil down. You know, the lads are concerned about it. Obviously, they're fully committed on a Superstock bike through there and carrying a lot of speed. But the organisers and the marshals are flat out working to get that oil cleaned up and cleared up and make that circuit safe. So all we can do is trust in the lads, and you know everybody knows about the problem. So hopefully they can get through and it doesn't affect any lap times.
You've been having a little wander around, speaking to a few people. Dean Harrison, you just popped off to speak to a few minutes ago. Happy?
Yeah, looks good. Looks confident. As the boys up in the tower saying, he's not done a flying lap on this Superstock bike. You know, they chipped away at it all week, but he's learnt a little bit from Sunday's Superbike race. It is personal best on the Superbike, 135.1. So they've put a little bit of information across. So hopefully, you know, it transpires into a better result for him. But, you know, he was riding the bike so well at Northwest 200, the Superstock bike against the super bikes in them races. And he's so determined, so committed. He's definitely in with a shout at a podium, and he took 2 third places last year in these 2 Superstock races. So, you know, you're not going to bet against the man for a podium.
Definitely not. Absolutely. Let's hear from young George Halliday, who's with Beth.
Yeah, he certainly is. We'll just talk about the Supersport first of all. Unfortunate retirement. What happened there, George?
It was just a quick shift of sensor, it was a bit intermittent, but finally went on lap 2. So I was really gutted. I did a PB from a standing start. So nearly 118 on the standing start. So I was chuffed a bit with that, and it felt like it was going really well. So yeah, put that to bed, swap the sensor. So hopefully, yeah, we'll go again, maybe later on, depending on weather and schedule and everything like that. But yeah, so now concentration is all about the Superstock race, and yeah, should we get going in about 15 minutes.
How are you feeling about this one then?
I can't wait. It feels like it's ages since we've spun laps around here. So yeah, it's just building it up. Just treat it as another 3 laps of practice, and yeah, just build it up. Every time we go out, we seem to be getting faster and faster. So yeah, it's not taking massive chunks, but a little bit each time we go out, and yeah, it's the way it seems to be going at the minute.
And we know there's cement dust from the exit of Kirkmichael through to Bishop's Court, so something just to be aware of. How much does that play on your mind?
It's not too bad. They're very good with the flags, all the marshals are, and we've been dealing with different conditions throughout practice week as well. That's something that's been new to me this year, especially coming from last year as well as a newcomer. So yeah, that's just part of the TT, I think, and it's what makes this place so special.
Thanks for talking to us, George. Hope it goes really well for you.
Thank you very much.
Dominic Herbertson, 8th quickest in Superstock qualification. The lap from Saturday, the 1st of June, 17 minutes, 26.4. 129.8. I'm sure pretty much buoyed by the podium yesterday. Just going to jump in here and just grab a quick word if I can. Sorry, sir, jump in. Young Dominic, 129 a bit in practice. Happy, and a smiling Dominic Herbertson.
Yeah, so no, it's we've only managed 4 laps on the stocker because, as we all know, it's been a trying week for all teams. And yeah, I'm it's like a comfy old slipper. This I know it's a new bike to me, but something about riding a stock around the TT course a bit more forgiving, which is a mad concept to think about when you think it's still 215 brake horsepower, plenty of ponies in the stable.
Obviously, the other year when you did your first 130, you're knocking on the door of that and qualifying with problems.
Yeah, so no, as you know, Chris, I've got many a problem, you know what I mean? So it's, I think that helps to the actual benefit of being a TT rider. But no, I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. I think, yesterday was a good bit of fun. I feel almost guilty that I feel this chilled, which is a bit weird for me. It's the first time I'm feeling really good. So hopefully this will be beneficial, or I'll go away and readjust and attack the next race after this in a different matter. But I'm actually looking forward to it, Chris. Really
Dominic, good luck, bud.
Cheers, man. See you a bit.
Well, I'm just here with Rhys Hardesty. How are you feeling ahead of this one, Rhys?
Yeah, pronounced that. Yeah, a little bit sort of apprehensive, a little bit so, butterflies going in the stomach a little bit this time, just being so close to how it go last time out. Just really want to try and nail it on the head. So yeah, just steady away, but we'll see how we get on today. And with the schedule mixed about a bit, it's sort of we're all over the place, and everybody's the same. And and credit to the guys in charge. They're doing a spot on job of trying to keep everyone safe, and definitely the right calls with the weather and the wind. The wind was savage, yesterday on the little bike. But yeah, just keep going, steady away. Yeah, that's it. Really, just eager to get away and enjoy it. Man. So yeah, we'll just see how we get on. Just try and get my head down and get hit the target. That's basically it, and just try and stay a bit smooth. And it'll be what it'll be, but we'll just keep trying, and go from there. Yeah.
These few minutes before the race start, when somebody shoves a microphone in your face, it must be so hard just to sort of get into that mindset.
It is a little bit, but to be honest, it's a welcome distraction because I need it really, because I can sort of lose myself in my own little head a little bit sometimes. So I work quite hard to try and keep my mind in the right place. And just little pre-race rituals and stuff that I've been sort of working on. And I've got a great guy at home, Greg, to thank for that. So he's doing a good job, and we're trying to work together and keep in the right mindset really, and just try and stay calm. I think that's the secret. Yeah.
And the team okay?
Team are fantastic, doing a great job. The boys that have come to help me, all the work with everybody involved, all the boys at home carrying the can till I get home. So sorry, Roy and Danny, and a big shout out to Lisa, she's effectively like a big sister to me, and she's not been very well. So we'll try and nail the speed for her. So that's the goal for this one. And so far it's been hilarious because we've been getting number 23. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, but we're getting Gary's number left, right and centre. So I'm not complaining. He's on the bike with me all the way around, and there's a couple of boys as well. I think, I ride a bit like that. And Billy, Redmayne, who I grew up with as well, he's on the back pushing the bike on. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely, Rhys. Well, we hope it goes your way, and we'll
Can I
speak to you
give
later.
just one little last shout out? And Pembroke that is see Tomo, Gatrev, and Paul Owen, and Doi on the Nagori Gatline Need.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Rhys.
No worries. Thank you very much, Diolch.
Looking at Phil Crow's had a bit of a week bike-wise. He's been taking stuff apart. I'm just hanging off away from them because they're listening to what Johnny Barton, the clerk of the course, has given him, which will be on the board as they go down through no man's land. Phil Crow in practice, 15th quickest in qualification, 17 minutes 41.5, 127.958. And we'll just let Phil listen to that. Phil, to say you boys have been busy this week will be an understatement, haven't you lot?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, 4 engine changes, 2 engine rebuilds. But think we're on top of it. We just need a bit of luck now, get a finish under our belts and see what happens.
128-ish, well, 127.9. I say 128. It's close enough, isn't it? In practice, happy with setup and stuff, apart from the engine issues?
Yeah, bikes are working perfect, to be honest, and 127 or 128.3 or whatever it was doesn't show the pace we've got. So, just going to have a go at it now.
Good luck.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks to Phil Crow, that off at number 19. Yeah, definitely one to watch for. And then that's a busy week, isn't it? I mean, he has all his friends helping him out. 4 engine changes, 2 engine rebuilds. Tom Birchall.
Hi, I thought he left his performance centre at home, but he brought it with him to paddock, and he bless him. Now, it's always difficult when you're doing all this work yourself, and we're getting delays, stuff's getting knocked on, and the tension starts to build. But as soon as he gets going down the road, hopefully that'll all go away from him. But the bike looks brilliant, and they put in a great effort, the Crow Performance team. Yeah, spot on, one of the best bikes on the grid.
Certainly is. Just going to jump up here and grab a word, if we can, with Brian McCormack, the big guy on the big bike. And let's grab a quick word with him on the Roadhouse Macau machine. Brian, good afternoon as it is now.
Yes, isn't it? Pleasant afternoon.
Pleasant afternoon for a little stroll around on the Superstock.
Yeah, we'll have a little look around and wave to the fans and stuff. No, it's perfect, isn't it? It's just a little bit windy, obviously, but perfect. Get to go racing.
What's it been like so far, TT Week? Tough. How's the body?
Yeah, not wonderful. I thought it'd be a little bit better. Struggling with the knee and the ankle and both legs. So, yeah, look, it's no excuse. And this big bike is no excuse. There's loads of room to dance around and have a bit of fun. So it's only the little bikes that look like I'm after crapping out. That's the problem.
I was watching it yesterday going out of the pit stop on the Super Twin, and it's like, how is he getting on that?
Yeah. Oh, mine, we were actually quite quick on it, but it's we had a problem with the brake lever. I had to pull over and adjust it 3 times through the race, so it just wasn't ideal. But I'm looking forward to that race again. Actually, the little bike is good. But this is Superstock bike, a Superstock race, so it's kind of made for me,
Good luck, Brian.
Thank you very much.
I'm just here with Timothy Minot, who I absolutely love these leathers. You're so distinctive out there, Timothy. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good feeling. Today, happy. I looking, the weather is good, sunshine, little bit wind. Sorry, and yeah, okay. 3 laps. I think I want to easier to Superbike race 6 laps. Okay, feeling good and exciting.
And in the pit stops, you're going to remember your speed because you had a little bit of an issue in one of the races.
Yeah, I'm. I think I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Don't move don't push the button on pit limiter. But my team is faster and me so faster on the pit. Today I try for better. Je vais dire un petit coucou à tous les Français. Merci de me soutenir et puis passez une bonne journée. Bon titi à tous. Ciao ciao.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Where's your Manx accent, Beth? Davey Todd walks past us anyway. Won't do any Manx speaking anyway, any Manx Gaelic. Connor Cummins gets himself ready, puts a new Conrod lid on. We'll just quickly speak to Peter Hickman, last year's double winner. Superstock race time.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Superstock bike's been really good to me in the past few years. But the competition's pretty hot right now, isn't it? Which is good. So, no, I'm really happy. Can't wait to get going.
Any changes made from the runs you've had since practice? No, big shake of the head.
No, so far so good. I was quite happy with it in practice. And, yeah, I guess we'll just find out now, won't we?
Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Peter. Good luck there. He's off at number 10. Davey Todd's just arrived on the grid. Michael Dunlop just arrived on the grid as well. The 3-minute board is now up, ready to go with the RL360 Superstock race. Josh Brooks has been up here for absolutely ages, just chilling out, just speaking to people. James Hillier, they've already got the lids on these guys, and it's kind of an unwritten rule down here. Once they've got the lids on, leave us alone. We want to go into the race, and that's why I was trying to get him before the lid goes on. I'm sure John McGuinness has probably got his on with all of his years of experience, and he's just leaning on one of the toolkits there, just looking over the front of the Honda Ply Blade. And wasn't it nice of the day for Honda to present him with that the 100 start TT 5 blade that he rode the other year in those colours? Jamie Cowdery looking all nice and relaxed too. What are we going to see from him? But I think the pit stops, when they're all going to come in reasonably together, are going to be quite close. Because what have you got in time-wise between Hickman and Todd? You've got 13 seconds there. You got 2 seconds back to Dunlop. You got 10 seconds back to Josh Brooks. You got James Hillier only a couple of seconds back. Then Hillier, Harrison, Coward, Herbertson. They're only separated by 10 or 12 seconds. So at the moment, looking at 16:48.8 for Hickman in qualifying quickest. and 17:47. So a minute later, no, it's a minute, 17:47.9 is Mikey Evans in 19th position. So pretty tight there. One man we haven't mentioned yet, who's out on his Superstock bike, the Malenko by Paget's Fireblade, is Ian Hutchinson, qualifying in 17th position for the number 4 machine at 17 minutes 44.199, 127.634. So we're going to make our way through the no man's land, get the board, and give you what the board says. This is what the riders see. This is what they will read. And it says damp patches, entry and exit of Braddon. Wet patches at the exit of Glen Helen. Cement dust from the exit of Kurt Michael through to Bishop's Court. 3-lap race, and it is a pit stop after lap number 1. It's that pit stop after lap number 1. Exactly 1 minute to go to the start of the RL360 Superstock race.
And Chris has just run through the times and told you how close it is and how crucial that pit stop could be. We are going for a 12:15 start for the RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Over 3 laps, so 113.19 miles. That compulsory pit stop at the end of lap 1. Your 2023 podium was Peter Hickman, Michael Dunlop and Dean Harrison. The lap record, of course, is the outright lap record for the course in this class. Peter Hickman from 2023 on the BMW, 16 minutes 36.115, 136.358. Our starter today is Mike Crellin, the MD of RL360, and he is around about 15 seconds away from dropping the flag for the Morecambe missile, John McGuinness, who's going to get this race underway on the Honda Racing UK machine. Only 3 laps in practice for John McGuinness. He's been concentrating on the big bike. 3, 2, 1, away we go. Good start by John. Next away, Jamie Coward on the KCS racing powered by Steadplan Group Honda. He was up to 132.696 riding this bike in the Superbike TT. Next away, John McGuinness's teammate Dean Harrison, already podium man this week on the Honda Racing UK machine. 6th fastest in qualifying. Ian Hutchinson will go next on the Malenko by Paget's Motorcycle Honda. Ian is away. Only 17th fastest in qualifying for him, but next James Hillier on the WTF Racing Honda. And he is 5th fastest in qualifying. Then we'll have Michael Dunlop, the history man at this TT24 already, on his own MD Racing Honda, 3rd fastest in qualifying. Next up, Josh Brooks on the Monster Energy BMW by FHO Racing Machine, 4th fastest for him in qualifying. Or the Australian. Next, Davey Todd. This is the bike he rides in BSB in National Superstock. He leads that 2 races down, 2 races won. What can he do on the TT course today? Away he goes on the BMW, the Milwaukee BMW. Following him, we are looking for Craig Neave. Is Craig coming to the line? It doesn't look like he is. Craig is an additional non-starter. He did have that spill at Griever Castle. So we will move on to the lap record holder, Peter Hickman. He's away on the Monster Energy BMW by FHO Racing, fastest man in qualifying. Next up, he gets a big gap on the road in front of him, obviously with no Neve. Next up, Connor Cummins away on the Malenko by Paget's machine. And then we have no Davo Johnson. All our best wishes to Davo after his spill at the weekend as well. We have no 13, where Lee Johnston would have been. We've got Lee alongside us instead. We've got no 14 because Michael Rutter withdrew his entry. So we will move on next to Rob Hodson. And there's a 40-second gap in the road here between Connor Cummins going and Rob Hodson going on the SMT machine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that advantage of that 20-second gap has for Peter Hickman, because he's normally straight on traffic, pretty sharpish. So sometimes that leads you on, but it might benefit him just having a bit of a clearer road, as we see Rob Hodson leave the line right now on his SMT Fireblade.
And behind him is yesterday's podium man Dominic Herbertson. Such an emotional day for him on the Burroughs Engineering by RK Racing BMW. A gap behind that at start position 17. That's where Gary Johnson would have been. Sean Anderson will be the next man away on the KH Hire Honda. And he is 18th fastest in qualifying, had a 10th and 11th place finish last year. So Sean Anderson next away. Then we'll get Big Phil Crow away. The Nigel Appleyard Agriwash UK BMW for Phil, 15th in qualifying. Spins her up a little bit, leaving the line. And then Mike Brown comes away. Mike Brown will be next away on that Aprilia, Lee.
Yeah, obviously this is the only Aprilia in the field. well, apart from in the Super Twin class, but on the bigger classes, and both in the Superstock and Superbike class, Mike Brown is the only Aprilia. We see Nathan Harrison leave the line now on the factory Honda as well. Really good to see him back and have a solid TT so far.
It is Nathan Harrison. Yeah, as we say, this is his class effectively. He's riding that Superstock in all of the big bike races. So this is his chance, really. Paul Jordan away next at start position 22 on the Jackson machine, the first of the Jackson Hondas. Then Mikey Evans from Santon here. He gets away on his Suzuki. Ryan Kringle will follow him as we continue with the Manx riders. So we've got Nathan Harrison, Mikey Evans, Ryan Kringle. Next away, then we'll move on to Brian McCormack, the Irishman on the Roadhouse Macau by FHO Machine. We'll just about have time, I think, to take Julian Trummer away on the other Jackson machine, the Austrian rider. And then it will almost be time to start looking at Glen Helen. We'll maybe take Amalric Blanc away. There goes Trummer. Blanc will next go, the French rider. I think the fastest French rider around the mountain course now on the Team B&M Gaz 58 HML Honda for him. And we do now see John McGuinness arrive at Glen Helen, so he still leads on the road at Glen Helen. McGuinness will obviously have to wait right through to Hickman at least to get a position, sort of leaderboard in place. Jamie Coward is there. Coward is quicker than McGuinness. Dean Harrison arrives. He's quicker than Coward. So it's Harrison showing at the top at the moment, but we've got to wait for all of these other riders to arrive. At least Michael Dunlop at 6, Davey Todd at 8, Peter Hickman at 10. Those guys to come through, and then we will get a formulation of a first leaderboard of this RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. As we wait, we see now that Hillier has already caught Hutchinson at Glen Helen.
Yeah, obviously Hutchie's had a really steady week, just trying to get back into the groove of learning this track. And yeah, unfortunately for James Hiller, he's caught him right at the point where it's going to be a bit of an effort, probably up on the Cronkavody before he gets a chance of passing him.
Yeah, we'll just see Michael Dunlop there over the damp patch at Glen Helen. Sat the bike up, ran it right to the white line on the outside. He didn't seem to lose any pace at all.
He leads. No, Todd now leads. Todd comes through. Dunlop went to the lead. Now Todd comes through and leads. We wait for Hickman to arrive. Then we will get an idea of the leaderboard at Glen Helen. So we've had all sorts of people jumping into the lead. Harrison jumped to the lead. Dunlop jumped to the lead. Todd jumped to the lead. We wait on Hickman. It should be about the next rider to come interview. We see him through what is now Rutter's Glen Helen 1. We see him in. Where does he slot? He slots in 3rd. So Davey Todd leads this race at Glen Helen on lap 1. He is 1.5 seconds up on Michael Dunlop. Then Peter Hickman is 1/10 of a second down on Dunlop. Harrison is 3/10 of a second down on Hickman. Hillier is 1.6 seconds down on Harrison. Jamie Coward in 6th, 1.7 seconds down on Hillier. And then it's 0.8 of a second from Coward back to Brooks. It's 1.3 seconds from Brooks to McGuinness. Connor Cummins slots in 9th. It's very, very close early doors.
This is quick math, but I'm going to say the top 9 are within, say, 3.5 seconds. Is that right? 3.5, 4 seconds. It's very, very close. But the biggest thing from this, I think, is the start from Peter Hickman. This is the best start he's made all week, or definitely the closest to the front guys he has been.
Yeah, he's definitely come out of the blocks today. He needs to do that as well. Davey's super confident. Michael's on the back of his 2 wins already and chasing another one. A little interview with him early on, and he said, look, if it feels good, it's having it. So we've got a confident Dunlop again.
We've already seen Davey Todd closing in on Josh Brooks, his 10-second man ahead of him.
Yeah, just to clarify, in case anyone out there thought that Michael wasn't committed or he wasn't going to push in this race, Tom Birch has just cleared that up straight away for us.
Just in case anybody wondered.
Riders still leaving the line. We're waiting for the guys to get out to Balaf as our next sector point. The leading time for Davey Todd out to Glen Helen is, where are we in terms of that? We're about the fastest lap we saw last year for lap 1. We're almost an identical time to lap 1 from last year, a 4:15.7, as John McGuinness still leads on the road at Balaf. He is through Balaf. Todd is now right with Josh Brooks.
Yeah, he's caught him in right in the middle of Kirkmichael Village. Oh, we just shot away from the pass there. It looked like he was going to go up the inside and that's the section where the oil is, Tom, which we were talking about earlier. So hopefully they've both seen that clearly on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be in Davey's mind, isn't it? Unless he's just thrown caution to the wind and gone, I've got to get through. We need to wait for a shot really now. He's stuck behind him, so he will be losing time, probably into Bishop's Court now. But he's got to go. He's got to go because Hickman's on a charge.
And the trouble here, obviously, is Josh Brooks has been on the on the fastest bike all week. He's been fastest through the speed traps, and normally if Davey was coming up behind somebody else on that BMW, he'd be fit to pretty much get a good slipstream and ride past, but not the case with Josh Brooks.
How much does it matter, or how much of a benefit is it that this is the bike he's passed now? He's passed Brooks, so he's cleared Brooks' head. How much of a difference does it make that this is the bike he rides
Brooks
every
is having
week?
to go back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, David stayed
tried to have a bit of a
over
go back,
Balaf.
but Todd has stayed ahead over the Balaf jump. So we'll wait for Hickman to arrive. But yeah, in terms of being comfortable on the bike, just jumping straight on it, this is the bike he rides every week.
Yeah, he's made a bit of a point of saying that. And listen, he was no slouch on the Superbike at the Northwest 200. We've seen he run Glen Irwin right to the wire in both races. So I spoke earlier a little bit about the electronics and stuff. These two bikes are very, very similar in that team. Obviously, there's some chassis changes, but the electronics and the feel, so the throttle pickup, all them things will feel exactly the same.
It's half a second. It's half a second at Balaf. Todd's lead is down to half a second after losing a little bit of time behind Josh Brooks. Todd leads by half a second from new second place man Peter Hickman, who is coming. Hickman has overhauled Dunlop at Balaf lap 1 for that second place. Dunlop is then 1.9 seconds back on Hickman. Dean Harrison sits in 4th, only 1/10 of a second down on Dunlop. James Hillier is then 3.5 seconds down on Harrison. Coward is 1 second exactly down on Hillier in 6th. Josh Brooks is 7th. Connor Cummins 8th. John McGuinness 9th and Ian Hutchinson 10th for those through Balaf. This is really close at the front. This is what we wanted to see.
Yeah, we can't forget Hickman's form on a Superstock bike. He took his first ever TT win in 2018 on a Superstock bike, and he's won the last 5.
The big thing to factor in here, all these guys, or the top 3 guys, have all caught at least 1, if not maybe 2 riders to this point on the first lap. So it'll probably take to the end of this lap to things settle down, and then we know actual pace, because obviously we've seen Davey has lost a little bit of time there, but that's due to him catching Josh Brooks, and we don't know if Dean Harrison has caught Jamie Coward at this point, and Hickman's probably the only one that had that 20-second gap. So yeah, he had the clear road to go at straight away.
It will take time to sort out the case, the end of lap 1, but then they're coming straight into the pits.
And that's where the mayhem started in the first Superbike race. So yeah, we're in for a cracker here, and we can see obviously John McGuinness, Jamie Coward, and Dean Harrison all coming into Ramsey Hairpin right now.
Speed trap through Sulby. Josh Brooks on the Superstock machine, 198.134 miles per hour. Michael Dunlop on the Honda, 197.087. Dean Harrison, 196.165. Peter Hickman, 195.422. So Brooks has had that speed all week and continues to be the case.
And that's over 3 different classes. That's Superbike, Supersport, and Superstock. So do you think that's Brooks' body position? Do you think he's sat on the back of the seat, or?
Yeah, the aero system looks amazing on the BMW, but just if anybody out there wants to just randomly go and do 200 mile an hour, all you have to do is pop down to your local dealer and you can buy a Superstock bike. That is absolutely amazing that you can do this on something. You can walk into a shop nowadays, and as long as you've got a bike license, you can take it out of there and ride it home.
We just saw Todd over the top of Milltown Bridge, and he was really pushing. Absolutely, the whole bike just shook as he came off the exit.
I don't know if he got a little bit of crosswind or something, but yeah, it got a little bit crossed up. And Tom, no, you have to commit straight away there. As the second you land, you're obviously committed to the corner, so you've got no time to let the bike settle.
No, you have absolutely wheels on the ground, bang, you've got to go in, and you've got to brush that wall on the inside to get the line. I mean, the speeds that these boys are carrying, doing jumps, doing wheelies, and then poof, turn it straight in. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
It's still half a second at Ramsey Hairpin. Todd leads by half a second from Hickman. It hasn't changed at all on the run between Balaf and Ramsey. Todd leads Hickman by half a second. Harrison is now ahead of Dunlop for 3rd. Harrison overhauls Dunlop and slots in to 3rd place, 3.1 seconds down on Hickman as they start the climb of the mountain. Michael Dunlop is then 2/100ths of a second behind Harrison. Hillier is 6.7 seconds back on Dunlop. Then Jamie Coward is 1 second back on Hillier, and it's 1.5 seconds from Coward back to Brooks in 7th.
Yeah, we've seen Brooks has got his teeth into the back of Davey Todd here. I don't know if we can get this helicopter shot just to zoom out a little bit. They're just on up onto the run over the mountain now, and Josh had done a really good job to hang on to the back of Davey on the run through into Ramsey.
I mean, it's taking some hanging on to, isn't it, Davey? We've seen 2 really big moments, or on the run to Balaf, the bike was moving just as he got through on Brooks, and then what we just saw at Milltown, he's having a go today, isn't he?
Yeah, the other thing we spoke about earlier is Pete was probably 13, 14 seconds quicker than anyone else in qualifying. So he's got that feeling of setting in the bike. And when these guys are now going to Peter's pace, the Davies bike is not obviously, they're going to want to make a setup change for going to them speed. So that's the only lack of knowledge possibly with him and the team being new together. And
so they're in unknown territory.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
And like we said, for the Supersport race later on, Davies probably got the most to gain because he went a lot quicker in the first race, and they've got all that data, as they will have after this race as well.
Just looking at some of the later starters at the lap, Dominic Herbertson was holding 9th. He's through Ramsey in 10th. Mike Brown on the Aprilia is in the top 10 as well. We await for his arrival at Ramsey. He was holding on to 10th at Ballaugh. As we're seeing Todd, I think it is, go past Ian Hutchinson on the run out through towards the Mountain Mile, I think, by the looks of it. And we see, there's a freight train here. There's the two Hondas, McGuinness, Harrison, Coward, Bam Bam Man, line astern at Bungalow.
Brilliant that, 3 different styles of riders, all at very different stages in their careers. But interesting that, Harrison will have been held up a little bit there, and it was on a charge. So whether he's going to be able to use the slipstream there up Aylward's Rise as they come over the Bungalow.
He probably needs to clear them both very quickly, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, and he needs to crack on with his own race.
Yeah, we'll see obviously now when we get this split into the Bungalow where that will let Harrison fall into. But yeah, I think he will get past get past John on the run out of the Bungalow and hopefully just carry on and not lose too much time.
We await then the arrival of Davey Todd, our race leader, and second place man Peter Hickman at the Bungalow to get the next time check. Harrison, Dunlop, Hillier, Coward and McGuinness all through. Todd arrives now, so it's Hickman we're waiting on next, and then we will have our top 3. Harrison has held on to that, what will be 3rd place over Dunlop, provided that Hickman arrives there safely, which should be in the next. Here he is. We see him arrive now, actually, through nice, stylish, very neat and tidy. Let's see what that does to the leaderboard. Oh, my word, it's 800ths of a second. Hickman has slashed the deficit to Todd, 8/100ths of a second. Hickman on that climb of the mountain every single lap.
And that's with him passing both James Hillier and Josh Brooks, I believe, as well. So, yeah, he's not lost any time on getting through them 2 riders. So he should have a little bit of gap on the road now because the next person he'll probably come up behind is Ian Hutchison, I believe. So obviously got past number 5, which is Hillier. So yeah, really, really strong run up over the mountain there for Peter Hickman.
Both Hickman and Davey Todd are on a 1:33.5 pace from a standing start here. So Todd leads by just 8/100ths of a second from Hickman. Harrison is then 4.3 seconds back on Hickman in 3rd. Dunlop is only 1/4 of a second back on Harrison in 4th. James Hillier is 7.8 seconds down on Dunlop in 5th. Jamie Coward is 2 seconds down on Hillier in 6th. And it's only 1.8 seconds between Coward and Brooks in 7th. So close all the way down the leaderboard. Then Connor Cummins is 6.7 off Josh Brooks as we get Dean Harrison and Jamie Coward at Crognamona and John McGuinness.
Yeah, and obviously the guys have got all the information now of the damp patches where the oil spill was, and obviously credit to the whole team out there. They've done a really good job clearing that up. The guys are all through safely now and ready to head on to their next lap round. And I believe the lap time, obviously we've got the pit stop at the end of this lap, but we're going to see definitely a mid 1:34, possibly even a 35 for the push on the 3rd lap, because we've got this group of 3 riders pushing everybody along.
Absolutely. We've got between the front 4, we've got 4 3/4 seconds amongst the front 4.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen here with Peter on as he comes on to what will be the last lap after the pit stop, another lap, and then the last lap. Is he going to have to push? Are we going to see a lap record go? Because conditions are good. They know the course now, like Lee said, and the pace is hotting up.
Crucial pit stop action, Chris Kinley.
Certainly is. As Dean Harrison first in with fellow Yorkshireman Jamie Coward just in behind him, and then we've got number 1 John McGuinness. So there we go, 3-2-1 as fast as that across the line. Well, let's go back to Crognamona. The lead is half a second. It's 0.487 at Crognamona between Todd and Hickman, who in turn has 4.2 back to Harrison, and just over 3/4 of a second back to Michael Dunlop in 4th, and James Hillier provisionally in 5th at Crognamona. Then there's Jamie Coward in there as well, and Josh Brooks. So all it is a splash and dash for these guys. 1, 2, you hear it go. Here's Michael Dunlop down to 4th at the moment. And there we go. John McGuinness, good pit stop. Dean Harrison, a good pit stop as well. But there's James Hillier. Close between the two Hondas coming in between Jamie Coward and James Hillier. But here's your race leader, Davy Todd. At the moment, Davy Todd is in and he leads as he comes in. But Michael Dunlop has snatched back second into the grandstand. Michael Dunlop back up to second place. He's 5.5 back off Todd. Here comes Josh Brooks, the teammate of course, Peter Hickman. And here's number 4, Ian Hutchinson, in as well on the Malenko by Padgett's bike. But we're waiting now. Davy Todd is in. We'll give you the pit stop times. Here's Hickman. Hickman across the line and the gap. 1.722. 1.722. Is Davy Todd going to have problems firing today? No. The Milwaukee bike absolutely fires up and he's away. You hear that rattle of it and away he goes for Hickman. So as they came in to the grandstand for the pit stop, Davy Todd, number 8, leads number 10, Peter Hickman, as Ian Hutchinson gets away by 1.722. Michael Dunlop, the new third place man, 3.8 back of Hickman, and Dean Harrison just about a second behind Michael Dunlop as Hickey gets away. Let's see what he does here now. Nice and steady. We'll give you the pit stop times that they were in here for. And he's away. Davy Todd's team 33.8. Peter Hickman's team 36.0 as Connor Cummins comes in. Michael Dunlop 36.6. Dean Harrison 38.2. Jamie Coward 40.5. John McGuinness's team 33.1 and James Hillier 32.7. Another great pit stop. But just to reiterate, into the pits, Davy Todd leads by 1.7 seconds.
Yeah, it's a shame just for Jamie Coward there. He got a really good toe in behind Dean Harrison. I think they maybe lost 3 or 4 seconds in the pit. John McGuinness was obviously the fastest pit stop out of that bunch of 3 because he got back past the other two riders in front of him. So it'll be interesting to see if Jamie can just latch back onto the back of Dean Harrison now for the remaining 2 laps.
Pit stop out leaderboard and things have just spread out very slightly. Davy Todd did a 33.8. That was the quickest of the pit stops of the front men. He pushes his lead out to 3 seconds over Peter Hickman. Pit stops out. Then Michael Dunlop will be third, 5.3 seconds down on Hickman. Dean Harrison will be in fourth, 2.4 seconds down on Dunlop.
Is that almost the difference in the pit stop time then? What's changed between Michael Dunlop and Dean Harrison? Because them boys had a great pit stop and just took a couple of seconds out of Harrison.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a 33.8 pit stop for Todd. It was a 35.1 for Hickman, a 36.6 for Dunlop, and a 38.2 for Dean. So they were in leaderboard order in terms of speed of the pit stops.
I've got to tell you, this is the first time I've ever been up here and watched a pit stop like that, and it is absolutely unreal. Hillier came in and they were desperate to get into his stop, but Coward tried to set off and he had to jam on the brakes, and you've lost a couple of seconds again, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's classed as organised chaos when you're looking down at them from up here.
Chris, still action down there?
Certainly is. We've just had Rob Hodson go out of the pits. He's in provisional 14th at the moment. We've got number 18, Sean Anderson, 25, Nathan Harrison, 19, Phil Crow, and 20, Mike Brown. Now, Mike is holding on to that 9th position on the Aprilia, just behind Connor Cummins, who's in 8th. Josh Brooks is 7th. John McGuinness 10th at the moment provisionally. And then it's Dominic Herbertson 11th. Paul Jordan, number 24. He's up to 12th place. Then we've got Nathan Harrison, who said number 25. He drops to 15th. As Mike, that's lovely Aprilia away. He's at the bottom of pit lane. 2 machines excellent together. Stand by at the top of St Ninians. Sean Anderson in 14th position, number 18. And we got Paul Jordan and Phil Crowe, who said, and Rob Hodson. They round out the top 17. Well, just to reiterate then, into the pits, but it will all change when we get to Glen Helen as 24 gets away. Paul Jordan, PJ Lee, your mate, holding on to 12th place.
Yeah, if anybody on here that's listening that hasn't actually seen this on the camera, so all the guys in pit lane are wearing a full set of overalls and a balaclava mask, so you can't actually see who your team members are. So we've seen Nathan Harrison dive in, dive back out again and go to the pit box after. So quite a few of the teams have a little sign or a board or a certain colour. Some of them have got really bright balaclavas on, or it also helps you've got a rather large mechanic because they're easier to spot. So yeah, it makes it very difficult to spot your own team.
Have you got a rather large mechanic, Lee?
Well, I can't mention Neil on here, but we're not saying any names.
We're going to pick them up at Glen Helen. We see the leaders on the road. John McGuinness, I think it is. No, it's Dean Harrison now leading on the road. He's into Glen Helen. We'll pick the others up. Let's bring you the lap 1 times. For Davy Todd, it was 16 minutes 58.489, 133.362. For Peter Hickman, 17 minutes 00.211, 133.137. Michael Dunlop, 17:04.046, 132.639 as he grabbed third place back. coming into the pits. Dean Harrison, fourth at 132.517. Jamie Coward, 131.802. And James Hillier, 131.090. Michael Dunlop looks to have clear road in front of him. Davey Todd is obviously coming. We're waiting on Peter Hickman to get to Glen Helen, and then we can get you the leaderboard. We have Todd, Dunlop, Harrison, Hillier, and McGuinness all through Glen Helen. It's Hickman we're waiting on, holding on to second place, we think, coming out of the pit stops, but the lead had just gone out. Todd's lead gone up to 3 seconds through the pit stop. So let's get Hickman on the run into Glen Helen. He's the man we're waiting on. Here he is. We see him on the screen now. He comes through Glen Helen, and he continues to hold on to second, but it's gone out to 4.7 seconds. Davey Todd on the Milwaukee BMW leads by 4.7 seconds. Glen Helen, lap 2 of this RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Michael Dunlop is then 3.8 seconds down on Hickman in third. Dean Harrison is 3 seconds exactly down on Dunlop in fourth. Then James Hillier, 7.7 seconds down on Harrison, although we're waiting there on Jamie Coward, who possibly doesn't look like he's made Glen Helen on lap 2. We can't see a time through for Coward, so Hillier maybe moves up to fifth. Then John McGuinness and Ian Hutchinson are the other two riders through. Dunlop, though, has clear air in front of him now. He's got clear road. He's cleared the traffic in terms of Hillier and people. He's on that run down through Brigaro.
Yeah, I've just looked over at Tom's face here as we watch the guys go through one of the damn patches there. The commitment from Peter Hickman, running right across it, right out to the white line, and really hard on the gas. The bike was moving before it even got to the damn patch.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see the different styles. You know, Davey came to and sat the bike up, sort of relied on the traction of it, and you could hear it on the camera. But like Lee said, some corner speed and commitment there from Hickman.
Yeah, we can see Coward is in fact still in behind John McGuinness on this Kurt Michael. So there's
for Coward, we're not going to pick up times for him maybe, so that's going to make things difficult because he's holding on to fifth place, we think. As we now watch Michael Dunlop, I think it is, coming through Kurt Michael here, looking really racy. He's exiting Kurt Michael as Davey Todd enters Kurt Michael.
Yeah, another person, well, I had an interview with him this morning after his podium finish in the Super Twins yesterday, and he said he'd be happy if he got over that 130 mark as Dom Herbertson, and he's already done a 29.1 and coming into the pits on that. So I think there's going to be quite a few guys in this race that break the 130 mark. Even also Mike Brown there's on a 29.6 for coming into the pits. So yeah, he'll definitely be over the 130 mark on the next flying lap, I would imagine.
And that's impressive from a standing start and into the pits as well. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of time off you. I just having a bit of a chat with Mike Brown's guys on the grid there. They were struggling with fuel surge after the second lap. They've not actually got over that problem yet. They think they have. They've put some more fuel tank foam into the actual tank to try and stop that surge, but they won't know until the third lap, until he's coming in to finish the race.
Timothy Minot caught by the speeders in pit lane. 30-second penalty, 71.35. I'm sure Timothy Minot had a penalty the other day as well.
Yeah, he's going to be getting 3 points and a fine at this rate, isn't it? If that's the second, is there a strike rate, or what way does it work out for him? But yeah, so frustrating. A 30-second penalty. He might have gained not even half a second, Tom, in the pits, probably by breaking the speed limit. So yeah, it's a big fine for the crime you commit.
Possibly an invite to the steward's office coming for Timothy, but no, we'll wait and see. Todd then, in fact, Hickman now, I think, arrives at the lap as well, so we can get an updated leaderboard at the lap. It's reduced. It's come down from 4.7 to 2.8. Hickman isn't giving this up at all. 2.8 seconds now. Todd leads by from Hickman. Then Michael Dunlop is only 4.2 seconds away from Hickman in third. Then Dean Harrison, 3.6 seconds down on Dunlop in fourth. It's then 9.3 seconds out to Hillier. John McGuinness shows in sixth, and that may well be a true sixth. Actually, we're not seeing anyone coming in from behind that at Glen Helen. He's sixth, 19.6 seconds down on Hillier. Seventh shows us Connor Cummins, which is a cracking run for him. He's only 3.9 seconds down on McGuinness at Glen Helen. Then we have Dominic Herbertson showing in eighth. Mike Brown on the Aprilia in ninth. Nathan Harrison is up into the top 10 at Glen Helen on lap 2. And then Paul Jordan is in 11th.
So, yeah, this is exactly what we want. Going on to the last lap, hopefully the top 5 are going to be within inside 5 seconds. That means that no one can shut off, no one can relax. These guys are all going to have to, if they want to win this Superstock race today, they're going to have to drop the hammer, and this is what we want. So we want to see some lap times. We want to see some pushing.
Well, yeah, something's going to go off, isn't it? I mean, Peter's dragged Davy back in sort of where we didn't expect him to. Expect him to do it over the mountain, but he has took some out of Davy. So we'll see what Peter does over the mountain and what he can do back to the grandstand.
Absolutely. He still has that favoured mountain to come. It is the fastest sector of the race that he's just done on the run up from Glen Helen to Ballaugh, and that's coming out of the pit stop. He's done that fastest sector time.
Yeah, and that's impressive because sometimes it just takes you a little bit of time to figure out the bike then again with a full tank. Obviously, they got round the lap. I know it's not as bad when you've only done one lap because the fuel changes. Dean Harrison has just used the full of the road coming through Schoolhouse Corner.
There's no buses running today. Dean, there's no buses running today.
Really impressive. We see Jamie Coward now possibly going to go up the inside of John McGuinness into Ramsey Hairpin.
Oh, what style from Dunlop. He's drifting it through Milton. Unbelievable. Two-wheel drift. And now he's coming into Schoolhouse on a mission.
These Superstock bikes are supposed to be standard. Whoa, Dunlop right out to the edge of the bus stop at Schoolhouse. Holy moly, he left nothing there, did he?
This is not doing me any good having to watch this for thinking about coming back next year.
Dunlop there, we pick him up on the run out through the bus station, out to the bottom of Mayhill. He cranks it right through the bottom of Mayhill. How far out? Yeah, pushing right out to the edge of the road again. And then on the way as we pick up Hickman next on the run down to School Hill. Let's see what he's like, Tom.
To be honest, he looks a little bit tidier, doesn't he? You know, everything's a bit more in line. Yeah, not using quite as much road.
Didn't even use it. Stayed in the road.
I don't think he's paid all his road tax. He hasn't just been allowed to use the full of the road on that one.
So maybe this says something about him. Maybe he's got a little bit in hand, a little bit in the pocket, and the other lads are really having to stick their necks out to stick with him.
He knows he's got that mountain section to come as well, and we know how favoured Hickman is on the climb of the mountain, the run up from Ramsey across the mountain mile through the veranda out to the bungalow. We're going to get him through Ramsey, get an updated leaderboard any second now. He's there, so let's have a look. It's we've got a timing. The transponder issue with Jamie Coward is putting him all over the place. But Todd looks to be 2.4 seconds, and it was 2.8 at Ballaugh. So Hickman's had another 4/10 of a second back there on the run up from Ballaugh to Ramsey. Todd leads by 2.4 seconds from Hickman. Michael Dunlop then 4.6 down on Hickman. Ramsey lap 2. Dean Harrison 4.8 seconds down on Dunlop. Then James Hillier, 10.6 seconds down on Harrison. We are going to have to drop Coward in somewhere here. He's got these transponder issues. I suspect he's somewhere ahead. Well, he's caught John McGuinness on the road and travelling with him, so he must be ahead of that. He's probably right there, nip and tuck with James Hillier for 5th place overall in the race. So Hillier is showing his 5th. Then McGuinness in 6th. Ian Hutchinson is also through Ramsey, but he's a little bit further back on the order. Looking back to Ballaugh, it's Dominic Herbertson holding on to 8th. Mike Brown 9th. Nathan Harrison 10th. Paul Jordan 11th. Craig Chapek, the next man caught by the speed cops in pit lane. 62.5, a 30-second penalty for him. Where are we, guys? Up over the mountain. On lap 2 of this RLC 60 Superstock TT, as we see Dominic Herbertson just coming through Schoolhouse. We're trying to pick up the leaders. Dominic's using quite a bit of the bus stop there as well.
Yeah, riding confident, isn't he, off the back of that podium yesterday. Great to see that from Dom. A lot of lads sort of wrote him off, but he was there, and real tough competition from the other lads, but he managed to get his first ever podium.
News on a couple of retirements. Mikey Evans has retired at Union Mills, and James Hind is out at Greba Bridge.
I've been struggling all week with that Suzuki, James Hind and the boys. Small, low-budget team, but, brilliant showing in that first Supersport race. It just needs to find a few sponsors and try and get a bit of a better package together on the bigger bikes.
Yeah, we've just seen Connor Cummins, and Josh Brooks was latched straight onto the back of him there on the run in through Ramsey. So I don't know really. I was expecting a little bit more off Josh. I don't know. I had sort of had him in the top 4 or 5, or like the outsider of the top 4 that we spoke about all week, but he just seems to be a little bit further back. So I don't know if there's maybe an issue with that BMW or what's going on down there. Oh, yeah.
He's had a fair few things thrown at him this week. Chain snapped, didn't it? He had to headbutt a bird out the way at top of Bray Hill. Maybe he's just... He's a bit rattled, maybe.
Yeah, he's been on the footpath of Kurt Michael on the grass at the veranda. Yeah. So yeah, he's using every one of them lives he's got.
Tom Robinson, the latest retirement at Quarterbridge. We've just seen Jamie Coward has got past John McGuinness on the road. So Dean Harrison leads on the road. Jamie Coward is now past John McGuinness, so he's second on the road, and we think slots into about 5th on the leaderboard. So now he's got clear road in front of him. We'll just have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, really good running from Jamie here. We're super impressed with his time that he did in the first Superbike race. Obviously, he was on that Superstock machine as well, doing a 32.6. So yeah, really impressive. Took another step on from what he was doing last year, and really compact little team that he rides for. You know, good guys in there, super knowledgeable, and on a really good bike. So yeah, he's having a really good year.
It's down again at the bungalow. The lead, Todd's lead is down to 2.1 seconds. So it's come down from 2.4 at Ramsey to 2.1 at the bungalow. Todd on the Milwaukee BMW leaves Hickman's Monster Energy by FHO BMW. Then we've got Michael Dunlop and his own MD Racing Honda, 6.1 seconds down now on Hickman. Then Dean Harrison on the Honda is 4.5 seconds down on Dunlop. James Hillier is 12.3 seconds down on Harrison, but we think Jamie Coward may slot in to that 5th place. John McGuinness and Ian Hutchinson are the other 2 riders on their way from the bungalow down to us at the end of lap 2.
So it looks like Todd's keeping Hickman at bay, really, doesn't he? He's keeping him honest, because, you know, he's stretching the gap to Michael, Peter is, but the gap to Davey is only just come down a fraction over what you would say is Peter's favourite part of the course.
Yeah, it's decent of him to give us a good close run on to the last lap. We know we don't want to see any big gaps here. We want to see nice close racing. So yeah, probably the opposite to what Davey Todd is thinking right now in his helmet as he sees that gap coming down. But for us as fans here, going on to the last lap with 2 seconds between them, it's anyone's to fight for.
Absolutely. Harrison then is through Cronknamona, and he's on his way back to us at the grandstand to head out onto his final lap. Jamie Coward is now there as well. So too John McGuinness, but we're waiting on Todd and Hickman start numbers 8 and 10 to come through. At the bungalow, it was Todd from Hickman, from Dunlop, from Harrison. Then we think maybe Coward, then Hillier, then McGuinness, Cummins, Brooks and Hutchinson are the top 10. We're going to get Dean Harrison out onto Glen Crutchley Road very shortly, Lee.
Yeah, the other frustrating thing for this, I know we're guessing where Jamie is, but obviously the guys doing his pit board, they're going to struggle out there because they rely on the live timing to give him all that information. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a frustrating one for them guys out there, just trying to tell him what position he's in as we see Dean Harrison come through.
Harrison away, out onto his 3rd lap. The 2nd lap does include the pit stop. 128.82 for Dean Harrison. Shouldn't be any second now before we get Coward and John McGuinness through. And we'll just keep here. Here comes Coward. And McGuinness. And it's gone out the lead at Cronknamona. Hickman's lead gone out to 3 seconds as Michael Dunlop goes through to start his final lap as well. The lap 2 times for McGuinness, 126.904, Dunlop 129.241 as Todd has overhauled Hillier on the road, on the run through Glen Crutchley Road. Hillier right with him there. Todd 129.757, Hillier 128.229.
When Todd and Hillier come through there both together, they nearly blew Steve Plater's wig off. Absolutely side by side. Unreal.
Yeah, we might get a bit of a footage of that on the TV screens. Maybe his eyebrows have now gone up a little bit further on his forehead. So yeah, he's down there grafting, just getting the footage for you guys. But yeah, I wonder if Davies actually managed to pull the lead out, even passing James Hillier as well. So he's obviously got past him in a good position and not lost any time there.
Yeah, the lead is 2.5 seconds now. It was 3 seconds at Cronknamona, so Hickman nibbled half a second out of it. Todd leads by 2.5 seconds heading out onto lap 3. Then Michael Dunlop is 7.1 seconds down on Hickman. So as you said, Tom, they're pulling away slightly from Michael here, these front 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all got to come out today now, hasn't it? They've got to leave it all down. Todd stands up winning his first ever Isle of Man TT race. 37 3/4 miles stand between that, so he's just got to throw it all at in the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, I just got a message through there from a fellow mechanic that Josh seemed to lose 1 minute and 30 seconds in the pit stop. So I don't know what went wrong there, if Chris Kinley maybe seen that down there or what actually happened, but we missed it up here and didn't pass any remarks. I don't know if that was a fuel issue or if they maybe tried to do a rear tire or something and the spindle got stuck. So yeah, that's what me saying earlier on why Josh was a little bit further back than we had first expected.
Yeah. What will the tires feel like coming onto this 3rd lap? I mean, is there enough in hand for a lap record, do you think? Or
Yeah, I believe so, because they're designed to do 4 laps, you know, so there's definitely the rubber's worth of 4 laps in the tire. How good it feels is obviously down to the setting, and for some guys that, like we said, Davey is probably maybe going faster than he had the setting design for before. Pete's already got the right setting in the bike because he's done a mid 34 already in qualifying. So yeah, that's sometimes where that little bit of knowledge and setup will pay advantage now when they have to really push on the last lap.
Absolutely. So at the end of lap 2 then, Davey Todd led the race by 2.5 seconds from Peter Hickman, 7.1 seconds back to Dunlop, then 4.3 seconds back from Dunlop to Harrison. James Hillier in 5th. Jamie Coward shows in 6th. Then we have, in fact, so that's Jamie Coward being slotted in there now by the timekeepers. He shows in 6th. He's 5.6 seconds down on Hillier and 17.4 seconds ahead of John McGuinness. Connor Cummins is then in 8th. 3.9 seconds down on McGuinness. Then Dominic Herbertson holding on to 9th, and we're awaiting the arrival of Mike Brown to complete our top 10. Let's see if we can go a little bit further down the list here, because we've got Rob Hodson then showing in 11th. Nathan Harrison will be around about the top 12 maybe. Then Paul Jordan, then Sean Anderson. Then we will have Philip Crowe and Brian McCormack having a right battle over 15th. Then it'll be Sam West, Amalric Blanc, and Ryan Kringle rounding out the top 20. Marcus Simpson shows in 21st. Matt Stevenson 22nd. Jamie Kringle 23rd. 24th for Alan Ventnor. Then Mikey Russell in 26th. Mark Parrott 27th. Rounding out the top 30. Joey Thompson, Eddie Fair, and Stephen Parsons.
It's a good effort from Ryan Kringle there. I mean, he had a crash in the Superbike race up at the Waterworks, and I just caught him earlier on the grid. And he doesn't look well, the lad done. He's I know he's manx, but no, genuinely, he's been ill and is carrying a strange virus with him. So his energy levels will be low. So good to see him digging in, and hopefully can get to the finish.
Leading riders are through. Glen Helen on the final lap. We have Dunlop, Harrison, and McGuinness all through Glen Helen on the final lap. And we're waiting then on all race leaders, Davey Todd and Peter Hickman, to get there so we can get an idea of the leaderboard. It's 2.5 seconds heading out onto this final lap. Todd, Dunlop, Harrison, Hillier, and McGuinness, and we expect Coward is through as well, but again, his time not showing, so maybe they were able to slot a full lap time in with the timekeepers here at the grandstand, but we may not now get sector times again out through the final lap.
Yeah, I've just had a message through from my father-in-law. He actually does Jimmy Coward's board, so he says if I can kindly give him the time when he gets to Ramsey, so he's at the Craig. So sorry about that, Craig, but we're none the wiser up here, so we can't really help you out. But yeah, like I said before, it was going to be frustrating for the guys out there doing the boards, because you can't relay the information back to the rider, especially if they're going to be in a close battle, if he's in that battle with possibly, we think, with James Hillier.
Just nibbled a couple more tenths as Peter Hickman. Davey Todd continues to lead at Glen Helen lap 3, but it's now 2.3 seconds. It was 2.5 seconds here at the grandstand, so he's just had 0.2 of a second out, but he's still got the run up over the mountain, the final time to come. So Todd leads Hickman by 2.3. Then Michael Dunlop in third is now 8.4 down, so that gap stretches out again. It was 7.1 here at the grandstand. Then it's 5.1 seconds between Dunlop and Harrison. Then James Hillier, who holds on to 5th, 19 seconds down on Harrison. And we think Jamie Coward will slot in there into 6th. But then John McGuinness shows next on our screen, who will be 7th, with Ian Hutchinson 8th of the 8 riders through Glen Helen.
Yeah, so we've just had a message through. Obviously, Phil Crowe is off with Goodners, but we just said that, his rider's okay. So for any of his team that are down there listening, we've had the information back that he's okay. And we're just watching John McGuinness has caught onto the back of, Michael Dunlop has caught onto the back of John McGuinness at a sort of bad place on the run through Kirkmichael Village. So he's going to have to sit on the back of there, Tom, right till he gets out through the actual town.
Yeah, absolutely. And he can't give anything away because Harrison was 5 seconds behind him at Glen Helen. So he's got to get through McGuinness, and then Jamie Coward is just in front of McGuinness. So, yeah, we could see third place in question as well over this lap.
Glen Helen to Glen Helen. Davey Todd, 134.4. Peter Hickman, 134.7.
He's coming.
He is.
He's on his way.
Absolutely. Is he going to have enough time left to do this? Because Todd is keeping him really honest. He's only getting a couple of tenths back per sector.
Yeah, we don't know where Todd's at. Maybe he's reading his pit boards. Maybe he's happy. Or maybe he's giving everything he's got. Well, Only time's going to tell with this one, but it is definitely going to go down to the wire. We saw Todd hold him off over the mountain last lap, but, was that Hickman just having a run? Can he do more this lap?
Yeah, and this is what we want. We want to see someone putting Pete under the pressure and making him push on that last lap, and hopefully, get back into the 135 bracket that we know that they're more than capable of doing on these Superstock bikes. So it'll be interesting to see who pushes who and at what position we get. It's pretty much when they get to Ramsey, Tom. If they're winning that second or two, it could be anybody's win to have.
Absolutely. It's great to see the two Hondas there of Dunlop and Harrison, and the Hillier and McGuinness, and then Connor Cummins, and then with another BMW from Herbertson. The two BMWs are so strong as a Superstock package.
The lead is slashed at Balaf. Todd continues to lead, but now by only half a second. It's come down from 2.3 at Glen Helen to just half a second at Balaf on the final lap. Todd leads Harrison. We're going to have a dice over the mountain on the final lap for a TT win. Oh, my word. Davey Todd on the Milwaukee BMW chasing his first TT win. Peter Hickman, who is, of course, the master of the Superstocks, coming right back at him. And they have stretched the gap over Michael Dunlop out to 10.8 seconds. Race on!
I automatically thought about what it would feel like in Davey Todd's helmet if he could hear what Chris has just said there now. Do you know what I mean? If there wasn't enough pressure on, if he had a set of earphones or Race to Shore radio, it would absolutely just put stress on the down to half a second. So Davey, they normally get a pit board here just at the end of Sulby Straight. So I'll be surprised if Davey doesn't have one there. So he will have that information straight away. And if he can retaliate now, we're going to see by the time they get to Ramsey.
Yeah, he's got to react. He can't let Pete have that sort of momentum. If he has got a pit board there, which I think he has now, because Steve Plater was saying he only had a couple of pit boards throughout the first race, and it's not enough around here. You need to be knowing much more information, because the guys can process it and then they can act accordingly. You can either sit behind and chill for a sector, or you can really have to push on.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you go from leading from, say, 4 seconds to getting beat by another sort of 4 seconds the other side, you think, I've lost 8 seconds in a short time, but it might in fact just be the fact that you've got such a big gap between pit boards. So you need to be getting that information straight away, basically, and be fit to react as quick as you can.
Big old wheeler there from John McGuinness over the Milltown jump. He's not done yet, is he? He's still having a go, bless him.
He's still giving the fans their value for money, and we've seen a really impressive jump over Ballagary from James Hillier, obviously earlier on as well. It was really impressive. We see this group now, and it'd be interesting to see if Jamie Coward can now get latched onto the back of Michael Dunlop for the remainder of this last lap as he just comes into Ramsey.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of time, Dunlop to Harrison. Look, it's 4 second gap there at the Balaf Bridge. So them two Hondas behind him now, Coward and McGuinness, did hold him up a little bit. Oh, is this going to bother Davey now as he backs it into Parliament Square?
Through Ramsey, it was David Todd with 195 miles an hour, Peter Hickman 194.5. So half a mile an hour advantage to Davey Todd, but he is, as you say, catching this train of riders in front of him. We have the first 4 riders on the road through Ramsey Hairpin. We are waiting on this battle for the lead that is absolutely raging between Davey Todd and Peter Hickman. On lap 1, they did almost identical sector times for lap to Ramsey. On lap 2, it was Hickman who was half a second quicker than Davey Todd, and there is half a second in it in the race. So we're waiting for these sector times to pop up at Ramsey. We have Davey Todd through. There's Hickman. Oh, it's gone out. Todd is quicker. He's pushed the lead back out to 1.1 seconds. He's taken 0.6 of a second out of Hickman on the run-up from Balaf to Ramsey.
I think he needs that buffer, doesn't he, over the mountain, because, Hickman's going to charge now. He's going to throw everything at it. So that's brilliant from Todd if he's just eked a little bit out on Peter.
Yeah, and obviously we've just seen in that shot there, Davey's coming up onto the back of 2 bikes, and he's not going to have a clear run back to the finish line, whereas Pete has got a clear road now pretty much the whole way home, we believe. I can't really see him making that gap up to John McGuinness and Jamie Coward.
13 miles to go in the RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. 1.1 seconds in it for the race lead. Davy Todd on the Milwaukee BMW leads. Peter Hickman is coming at him. He's just lost a little bit on that run from Buildup to Ramsey, but as Lee's just said, he's got clear road. Todd's got traffic in front of him. 1.1 seconds. They have stretched the gap over Michael Dunlop in third to 12.5 seconds down on Hickman. Then Dean Harrison is 4.4 seconds down on Dunlop. James Hillier, 27 seconds down on Harrison. Jamie Coward is showing on the Ramsey leaderboard. 6th place for him. So the pit board's at Craig. He is in 6th place and he is 9.1 seconds down on Hillier. John McGuinness then shows 7th, 11.1 seconds down on Coward. Cummins is 5.7 down on McGuinness in 8th. Then Josh Brooks and Ian Hutchinson, the other 2 men through. But this is a battle, a real battle over the mountain between Davy Todd and Peter Hickman.
Jamie Coward there will be benefiting from that bit of a toe from Michael. It'll be dragging him up the leaderboard a bit there. He'll be learning and gathering a bit of data. But as we see the pictures of Peter there, absolutely stretching them throttle cables on his BMW.
Yeah, we obviously got information that Jamie's in P6, but we don't quite know how far back from Hillier is he? Will that be, pardon?
9 seconds.
9 seconds. So yeah, I don't think getting that toe off Michael will be enough to you, Tom, to get him to the finish line, unless James really rolls off and Michael's got a big push on.
Yeah, from what we've seen of James, he's riding so well and so committed. So no, I don't think we're going to see Jamie Coward over Hillier.
Dean Harrison leads on the road into the bungalow. And this is an impressive run by Dean again. Top 4 given the pace of this front end. Dean's really riding well here.
Yeah, he showed awesome pace at the Northwest 200, obviously using that Superstock bike in all the races. So yeah, he's really comfortable on that bike. I don't think he's done a lot of laps on the Superstock bike this week. Did you say 2 laps possibly, Chris, or earlier on? So even all these guys, the top 3 or 4 have only done maximum maybe 4 laps on the Superstock bike. So it's maybe going to start to show for a few of them right now with the information that they've got.
Let's just see where we are then. We've got Todd now. Todd has caught up to that group of Jamie Coward, John McGuinness, and Michael Dunlop's not that far ahead of them. And we wait for Peter Hickman. We see him through the veranda now. Michael Dunlop, he's got James Hillier is ahead of him. Here he is. He has caught Hillier on the road, so there is traffic as well for Hickman, although very fast-moving traffic with James Hillier. It is still 1.1 seconds at the bungalow. Todd continues to lead. They've done almost identical times on the run from Ramsey to the bungalow. Todd continues to lead by 1.1 seconds, both of them with traffic to pass potentially.
We're just seeing Hickman there's caught Hillier, and he has just lost a little bit of time. He's lost the run there, so that's going to cost him, and that's going to only help Todd.
Yeah, if we can just stay on this shot now of Peter behind James Hillier, and he obviously went to get past there and had to roll out, and he's had to roll out again. So yeah, this is costing Pete quite a lot of time into Windy Corner. He just gets through on James Hillier now. So yeah,
full braking maneuver into Windy Corner.
Yeah, if this race is down to half a second of a win to Todd, we could pretty much say that would be where it was won and lost for Peter Hickman.
Todd, though, has traffic himself as well. And in fairness to James Hillier, he's in 5th place in the race. Yeah. So it's not as if it's slow-moving traffic or he felt the need to maybe let Hickman through in any way.
He will not have known he was there. There's no, obviously, this is not like short-circuit racing. There's no blue flags. And with the wind noise in your helmet, Tom, you've got no chance of hearing somebody unless they're pretty much up the inside. But we're just seeing Davy Todd now is on the back of Jamie Coward. So he's obviously got through on John McGuinness already. So we didn't see that. We don't know how much time that's possibly cost Todd or what this run in now to the finish line is going to cost him in behind Jamie Coward.
He's just doing him on the slipstream down into Brandish. So Todd is past Coward. Coward goes right up to the back wheel. Then the gap goes out a little bit. So Todd has a little bit of road in front of him, but there's a Michael Dunlop, I think, not that far up the road from Coward.
Todd really had to commit there to get through. He knew he had to just throw the bike up the inside, and Jamie dealt with that really well. But I don't think that cost him any time, and maybe even got a little bit of a slipstream as well. So it could have helped him.
All eyes on the screen looking for Peter Hickman to get to Crunknamona. We have Davy Todd through. We have Michael Dunlop, Dean Harrison, Jamie Coward and John McGuinness all through Crunknamona, all round signposts. We wait then for Hickman to arrive at Crunknamona. It shouldn't be far away. It was 1.1 seconds at the bungalow. What is it going to be? It's gone out to 2.4. It's gone out to 2.4 as Harrison crosses the line to finish the race. But at Crunknamona, Todd leads by 2.4 seconds. That probably should be enough, Tom.
You would hope so. I mean, Todd took so much time out of Michael Dunlop, of all people, into signpost corner. He's really short circuit breaking into there, backing it in and trying to sneak every 10th of a second out of this lap now as he comes out onto the start and finish line.
They're nudging out to 1:35 pace. Let's take Davy Todd across the line where they're going to have to wait for that's Dunlop and Todd across the line, and so too Jamie Coward. They've all completed their race. Now we wait for Peter Hickman. Is Todd going to claim his first ever TT victory? Hickman is into Governor's Bridge. He's coming out of Governor's Dip. He's on to Glen Crutchley Road. We'll get Hickman across the line. It was 2.4 seconds at Crocknamona, 2.440 seconds. Here he is. He crosses the line. Jamie Todd wins his first ever TT on the Milwaukee BMW in the RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Todd wins by 2.2 seconds from the Monster Energy by FHO Racing BMW of Peter Hickman. Michael Dunlop then 17.7 seconds back on Peter Hickman in third on the MG Racing Honda. They've all stopped at the end of the pit lane. They're having at the end of the return lane, rather. Todd and Hickman are having a huge conversation here. And then we'll get down to Chris Kinley as they come in. Let's have a look very quickly at those last lap times. Dean Harrison, 133.835. John McGuinness, 133.037. Davy Todd, over 135, 135.092. Michael Dunlop, 133.733, or not 137. Peter Hickman was quickest, 135.14 for Hickman on the final lap. Let's get down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, Michael Dunlop's come in already in that third position in the RL360 Superstock race. So the gap's at the end. Davy Todd takes that win by 2.2 seconds on number 10, Peter Hickman. Michael Dunlop in third, 17.7 back. Dean Harrison with a good third, fourth position on the number 3 bike, 3.8 back on there. And here they come. Here's Hickman. And for a first TT win into the winner's enclosure, here comes the Milwaukee BMW of Davy Todd. And there we go. We've even got Hector Neal. We've got Philip Neal in here as well for the Milwaukee, the TAS team, or whatever you want to call it. Temple Auto Salvage Racing Team. They're all in here. Davey cannot actually believe that. Michael Dunlop knows what that feels like. Peter Hickman knows what that feels like as well. But Davey Todd finally has an Isle of Man TT race win. Peter Hickman in. He gave it everything. And well, the team absolutely came up here. When he crossed the line, there's just a sea of red just jumped in the air as Davy Todd was confirmed as the winner. Just don't think he can quite believe it. He's normally quite calm. He's normally calculated. But this is everything that he's been working to since he made his TT debut not that long ago. What, 6 years ago now? Was it 18 or 19? Round about then, however long it was. But Davy Todd now is in his own right a TT winner. And Philip Neal is in there just putting some words of wisdom in there. And another win for that team, that Northern Irish team. Gives a hug to all the team members. And we'll get in a second and get the immediate words here on Radio TT of our race winner on the Milwaukee BMW. We'll just sneak past him. We'll let him have a moment or two more if he wants. Absolutely. Philip, he's got big smile. He's always got a big smile, but it's even bigger. I don't think Philip Neal can believe it as well. When the chaps and Metzler comes in to say well done to him, gets a tap on the back. The gap at the end, 2.2 seconds. But Hickman was coming. He had it down last lap there. Chris called it in commentary. It's about half a second. It was one of those TT races that we wait for, we pray for, with all the delays and everything. And I just don't think just yet he's just not got that in his head just as of yet. The lid is off, and Peter Hickman's come up now to say well done, and there's a great thing to do. Well done, Pete. That's brilliant stuff. We'll let him take the earplugs out. And he's just gone, oh. Get the Metzler hat on. Well done to you. Davy Todd, number 8, Milwaukee BMW TT winner.
Can you say that again? It's
Davy Todd, dude and a half, daft haircut, crap taste in music, but a TT winner.
Oh man, it's this is a dream. Like it feels unreal. I thought all the way after I crossed the finish line, I knew it was close, and I caught 3 of the guys on the last lap, and I think it was +1 at that stage, and didn't think I'd be able to keep it with that bit of traffic. And oh man, I thought it was over, and
he was coming.
I got to give it up to the whole Milwaukee BMW team. These guys have had the belief in me and put an incredible package underneath me, and I honestly can't find words right now, mate.
That's strange for you. On the last lap, Peter got it down to half a second. That's what it was down to at roundabout Balaf. Half a second.
Yeah, I had a couple of boards with +0, and I knew it was close. I was sort of riding well within myself and just tried to get my head down on that last lap and put some good sectors together, and I can't say anymore. I'm over the moon.
Obviously, we got another Superstock race to come.
Definitely.
This is your class. This is your bike. This is the one you ride week in, week out, isn't it? So you know it.
That's what we said. The Superstock bike's incredible. I was talking to someone last night and just saying my super bike is actually basically a Superstock bike as well. And I love the BMW M1000RR. The Superstock bike's fantastic, and I feel right at home on it. I love riding it every time I get on it, whether it's a BSB Northwest here. Things go well and awesome. I was looking forward to the Superstock race, but yeah, don't have to wait long for race 2, do we?
Certainly don't. Looking back at the race, it was 1.5 at the first split, then it was 1.5, then it was down to half a second, then it was up to 2 seconds, it was up to 2.5, it was back down to 1.5, then it was half. What a race, like a Supersport race.
Yeah, definitely. I know Pete and me are strong in different sectors, so how we work is in the gap goes up and down, judging where each of us are fast, and then all week I've been quick down off the mountain from the bungalow, and I just tried to put that sector together there.
Did the job. Davey Todd, TT winner.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Well done, Mucky. Well done, Davey Todd. Give a round of applause around here, folks. All you guys with the earphones in, that's something just a little bit special. Your first TT win, and that big smile is there, and we'll get over, if we can, to Michael. And Michael, just a wee quick word. You know what it feels like to win your first one. Well done to Davey, but well done to you on that third. Just not there today, or just...
Yeah, the bike doesn't have it. I just felt that we're lacking something, obviously, and as I said with the boys before, with the factory support that they have, they're getting better engines and more power at the engines, and I just felt like I struggled there. I caught a couple of boys and I got caught a wee bit of track, but they're running hard, and to be running that fast, I need to be on the best of the game. We just struggled with a little bit. We set up, we have done all week. It's a bike we struggled on for very reasons, but obviously to be the first Honda in here, we've made a good job of the team, but we just seem to needing that last bit what these have, and realistically I shouldn't be losing that amount of time over a short space of a race. So we need to I don't know if we can do anything with it. It's we can't really get much more help with bikes and with the engine stuff, so we just have to keep plugging along, and hopefully we'll make a change and try and go harder.
Like you said, first on the home, ahead of the factory ones as well.
Yeah, well, it's just it's obviously it's a bit disappointing. Obviously, with these bikes, you need to get everyone out of them. To get everyone out of them, you need to be getting help. Help, and that's long and short of it. And so just doesn't. We're obviously not getting the best out of the bike. Well, we're just not getting everything on song, which is a bit of a pity because I feel good. I feel good in my big bike. I've been feeling good and everything. It was just it's a bike for various reasons we've just sort of struggled this week with.
Suspension?
Yeah, bits of that. Maybe we're not sure was it suspension related or chassis related. It's just smidgens that we're just looking for in this game when it's so tight at the top. You're looking pinholes, not anything else.
I love the word smidgens. Michael, well done. Thank you. Cheers. I'm just going to go and see Davey Todd and say congratulations. Thank you, Michael. Cheers very much, Michael. Thanks and best of luck for the rest of the week. Thank you. We'll get over to Peter Hickman, who's done his TV time, and we'll get him over there. And I don't know if he knows the story of the race. Not Pete, congratulations. I know you want to be at the top spot again with the Superstock, but you and Davey, what a show you boys have put on again. Great race.
Yeah, obviously really, really tight. We just didn't quite have enough today. At the end of the day, that's the way it is. We tried really hard. Bike was working pretty good, and I was trying really hard out there as well. But at the end of the day, just didn't quite have enough for Davey.
Half a second it was at Balaf on the last lap at one point. You got it down to really strange because it's normally from the mountain, from the ramps up to the bungalow you get back, but he was holding you off. You were catching more time on that bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, we've been real strong in different sectors. Obviously, Davey rides that bike weekend in, weekend out, so he's super, super comfortable on it, as I am on mine, but I don't ride it that often. But, I'm just congratulations to Davey. First TT win. I know exactly what that feels like, and it's an absolutely unbelievable feeling. So for him to win his first one, he's been fast all week. He was due a win, wasn't he? Let's face it. And it's great to see. Just a shame for us. Obviously, we're second, but hey, we'll come out fighting again on Friday.
Bit of traffic on the mountain. You caught up a bit for the lads. I mean, they're going hard as well. So
yeah, I caught James. I caught who did I catch first? I caught Hutchie at a really horrible place through Ballacrane, Ballaspur on the run to Ballig, and then I caught Hillier up on the mountain. But the boys are hard to pass because it's not like they're slow. So and you got to be nice and clean when you do it. But I don't know how close it was right at the end. But
2.2 in the end.
Is that what it was? 2.2 in the end. But hey, we lost a little bit in the pits as well, which is probably my fault more than the team's. I rushed into the box a little bit too much. And my arm was kind of in the way, so they couldn't get the fuel in and stuff. But hey, it's the way it goes.
Well done, Pete.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you. And Philip Neal. Philip, just your quick thoughts on this live on Radio TT. Another win for you guys, the TAS team, as everybody knows it as, and Hector's here as well, and Davey getting his first win. Many congratulations, you and all the boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a dream when you can help a rider do his first ever TT win. We've done it with a couple of guys. It's a long time ago, and obviously my fella, I think everybody knows he hasn't been terribly well of late, so we got him here, and to come here and see a race win, and a race win like that, one of the best races we've probably seen in a while. BMW 1 and 2, Milwaukee BMW at the top step, which is where we wanted it to be. So listen, Davey, I knew he would make a jump from last year to this year in times, but I never dreamt that he would take it to Peter, in this first year with us. Honestly, I didn't. So I'd have been actually reasonably happy to finish a close second there, but we all want to win.
Thank you for your time, Philip.
Thank you.
There you go. So there's the top three in the RL360 Superstock race. We'll hand it back to you, Chris Boyd, to tidy up. We'll get ready for the podium.
Smidgens, said Michael Dunlop. Thank you very much, Chris Kinley. Great interviews down there in the winner's enclosure. Smidgens, indeed, it was. But Davey Todd took 1.3 seconds out of Peter Hickman in the pits. So on the road between them over the 3 laps, there was 0.9 of a second.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. Credit to Davey, obviously his first TT win, and you can probably see it being the first of many. He looks really good out there and in a good team that has got a lot of TT wins already and stuff like that. But the big thing out of that interview is obviously Peter Hickman. The first thing he did was congratulate Davey. Didn't complain about the traffic, didn't complain about the pit stop, absolutely nothing, ultimate professional, and happy. And you can see the respect between all of them. Any of the guys that are out there pushing and definitely pushing at the front is they all know that how hard they're having to work to be in that position.
Absolutely. Let's get down to Beth, who I think is with Sam West.
Yeah, I am. And do you know what, Sam? It was lovely to see your team jumping up and down when you came in there. Big smiles on the faces. How was that?
Yeah, it's really good. It's great to see the team happy. I'm happy when I'm riding like that too. We had a nightmare of a qualifying week, from one thing to another, bike issues, getting up for speed on a borrow bike, all that stuff if you've seen online. So finally we're getting some laps in, and it's tricky because we qualified so far back, and you can overtake someone anyway here, but you don't want to put hard pass on anyone. There's no need for that. So got to wait until the mountain, get a bit of a clear section. So that last lap could have been a really good one. It was certainly my best of the week, but just wanted to put a fair pass on the lads, do that and get gone. So yeah, happy overall.
And team did you well in the pits?
Yeah, my pit stops have been faultless. If there's one thing that hasn't gone wrong at all, it's my team. They have been spot on this week, so very appreciative of all the hard-working volunteers that come with us privateers.
Well done, Sam.
Thank you.
There we go. And so it's 16th place for Sam West. Let's start to work our way down the leaderboard and just bring you that absolute thriller of an RL360 Superstock TT Race 1. Davey Todd then on the Milwaukee BMW. We think that is Milwaukee. Oh, the Philip and Hector Neal's TAS squad, their first win since Michael Dunlop won the 2018 Superbike TT, the opening race of the 2018 meeting. So Davey Todd then wins the race by 2.2 seconds from Peter Hickman's Monster Energy by FHO Racing Machine. Then Michael Dunlop, who said there in the winner's enclosure, they're going to have to look and see what they can find. He's 17.7 seconds down on Hickman on his MD Racing Honda. Dean Harrison then on the Honda UK Racing Machine, 3.6 seconds down on Dunlop in fourth. It was then 32.5 seconds down to Hillier. In fact, we can't see Jamie Coward, so they still haven't slotted him in there on the results. We'll just see, can we see him on any of the other pages that we have to see if we can get him in. It looks like he has finished ahead of John McGuinness. He's finished in fourth, potentially, we think. So it will be Hickman,
No, in fact, let's have a look. No, we'll have to try and slot Coward in when we get the official results. We see James Hillier shows as 5th, but we know Jamie Coward's going to be slotting in there somewhere. So John McGuinness will be 7th. Connor Cummins will be 8th. Dominic Herbertson will be 9th to follow up his podium from yesterday. Mike Brown's got the Aprilia round into a top 10 finish. He will be 10th. Then Josh Brooks in 11th. And Paul Jordan finishes in 12th on the Jackson Honda. Then Ian Hutchinson will be in 13th, sorry. Then 14th for Rob Hodgson, 15th for Sean Anderson, 16th to 20th, Brian McCormick, Sam West, who we've just heard from, Alan Ventnor, who's been having a great set of results at this TT, man from South Africa, Alan Ventnor, so it'll be 18th for him. Amalric Blanc finishes in 19th, and Marcus Simpson gets himself a top 20 finish. He just nips his countryman Ryan Kringle, the two Manxmen. Ryan will finish in 21st. Joey Thompson 22nd, 23rd for Matt Stevenson. We've still got riders coming across the line, so we'll pick it up from 22nd when we come back. But right now, Beth has Sean Anderson.
Yeah, I do. We're just looking at the results here. We know they're going to be a little bit different, Sean, because we have to fit Jamie Coward in. So we're looking at a 15th finish. How's that for you?
I've had better races, if I'm honest. Like the Gage, Plantar, Fireblade was working really well, but from about halfway through the first lap, I was absolutely murdered with arm pump in my right arm, and I can't really work out why. The only other time I've had arm pump around here was when I was number 1 in the newcomers. It was a bit psychological, so I'm sort of, there are a lot of questions going on in my mind at the moment. I mean, conditions were good. Track conditions were prepared excellent by the marshals up through Kirkmichael and through Rencullen, and everything was flagged appropriately. The pace just in myself wasn't there, and I can't blame the bike. Karen Hank can give me a good bike. The boys put up a good bike under me today. It felt good, but my arm, I just wasn't fit to hold on to it, and a lot of questions to be asked. I'll head to the physio tent now and see the girls in physio and try and get it worked out. The 600 is a wee bit of an easier ride for this afternoon, all things going ahead, and we'll scratch our heads tonight in the tent and see what we can do for tomorrow's second Superstock.
Okay, John, we'll let you go, and I hope you get that sorted for the next race. You've got a couple of hours yet.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. More riders coming across the line. George Halliday, who we heard from before the start, and Craig Chapek, the latest to just finish. We have now got Jamie Coward slotted into the results in 6th. So Todd Hickman Dunlop is our podium. Then Dean Harrison finishes 4th. James Hillier finishes 5th. And Jamie Coward is about 4.8 seconds down on Hillier in 5th. Then John McGuinness in 7th. Connor Cummins 8th. 9th for Dominic Herbertson and 10th for Mike Brown. We were down to 22nd, I think, overall, which will 24th, 23rd, I think it was. Maybe we were down to, with Matt Stevenson, 24th for Eddie Fair, 25th for Mark Parrott, 26th, Jonathan Getchke, 28th. In fact, let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, we'll get back to results for the RL 360 Superstock race in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Mike Crellin, former racer himself, and of course he is from RL 360, many years sponsors of the Superstock race. Thank you, Mike. Heading up there onto the podium to do the prize presentation. So Mike gets himself up there. Ladies and gentlemen, in 3rd position on the MD Racing 1000cc Honda, Michael Dunlop. Michael makes his way up onto the 3rd step, gives a big wave to the crowd. He'll be getting the laurel wreath over his neck and yet another hat to the collection. 2nd position, 2.2 seconds in the end it was. For number 10 on the Monster Energy BMW by FHO Racing BMW, Peter Hickman. Hold on to Peter, makes his way up the back of the steps there now. Michael had a good chat just off air there a couple of moments ago. Peter gets into the 2nd position. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the RL 360 Superstock TT race number 1, riding the Milwaukee BMW Motorrad BMW, number 8, Davey Todd. And there he goes up to the top. You probably hear that's all the Milwaukee boys you can hear shouting there. Now a TT winner, and he gets his hands on, the David Jeffries Trophy for the winner of Superstock race number 1. The winner, Davey Todd. I'm sure the first of many for Davey there as he has the David Jeffries Trophy up at head height now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, your podium for the RL360 Superstock race number 1. Well done to Michael Dunlop, Peter Hickman, and of course your first time winner, Davey Todd. Thanks to Mike from RL360 for presenting the trophies. The David Jeffries Trophy has moved safely out of sight. And from our friends at Forage and Vintners, the sparkling wine is about to go for the first time on the TT top step for Davey Todd. Come on, Davey, give it a good go. Stand by. There's one cork gone. There's two cork.